Well, hello then. I do hope you all well, and I do hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Mine was a bit bittersweet. Went to watch my local football team. Bloody lose at home again. Never mind. But anyway, I had a few gills before and after, and met up with some good friends, so decent night. But anyway, none of my football problems. You don't want to listen to them. Anyway, this is, as you know, on this channel. Massive fan of the Nick Abbot show. Always loved listening to Friday, Saturday night with the soundboard, and makes me smile listening to the absolute satire that comes up with to take the rise out of the government. Well, anyway, on Friday, he gets a tweet from somebody who says, "Have you noticed that the government are wheeling out these absolute loons to go on national tele to say, I think the Prime Minister's made it quite clear," nonsense. And then he goes on one of his fantastic rants, and it's quite good. Enjoy.
Sam texts, have you noticed these Tory MPs get wheeled out for interviews on TV and talk in riddles while repeating the phrase, "It's quite clear"? Yeah, blatant gaslighting of the population. If I hear that phrase one more time, well, the Prime Minister has made it absolutely clear that, and then you know that what they're about to say next is a lie. The Prime Minister has made it clear that nothing he says is true. Absolutely everything that pops. If he told you what the time was, you would know that it was any other minute in the day but the one that he's just told you. He can't help himself. Pours out of him. And what's infuriating is it's the same lies over and over and over again. Well, Mr. Speaker, we're building 40 new hospitals. No, you're not. You're not building 40 new hospitals. You just keep saying it over and over again. We've got the fastest growing economy in the Western world. Well, if we didn't, then we'd be in a right state because we had the biggest economic crash of any country in the Western world. He doesn't mention that part, does he? I got all the major decisions right. How he can say that with a straight face is beyond me. I mean, it's virtually psychopathic. How can anybody lie like that again and again and again, having already been called out on those lies, been corrected to his face, and he still says them? Again and again and again. It's amazing. And they all, like Sam says, they all come out, they all get the memo, and they all come out and they just say the same things over and over and over again. The Prime Minister has made it quite clear that this is the best government that has ever existed. He's been quite clear about that. I just don't think I can take it anymore. And that is, of course, the plan. Same as Trump. Everything that this government does, just ask yourself, what would Donald Trump do? They'd lie and they'd lie and they'd lie and they'd lie and they'd lie, and people would correct them. And they'd receive that correcting, and then they'd repeat the lie again. And then you'd correct them again, and they'd just repeat the lie again. And eventually you'd give up, which is, of course, the plan. That's what they're after. You just can't fight it anymore. And you think, oh, all right then. You can carry on funneling billions of pounds of our money into, I don't know, where did it go? How can you spend £37 billion on a phone app that doesn't work? South Korea built a phone app for its citizens in about 2 weeks, and it cost threepence halfpenny, which is the official currency of South Korea. That's just a fact. Look it up. We've spent, 2 years now? It still doesn't work. How is that possible? £37 billion. If they say it costs £37 billion, then you know it's probably 50, 60 billion. If it's just £37 billion, it's not far off half the entire budget for the NHS for a year. How is that possible? Where did the money go? And that doesn't even scratch the surface of the £100 million cheque that was sent to this friend of the regime, and a £100 million cheque was sent to that friend of the regime to provide medical equipment that they previously had zero experience in. Meanwhile, there's actual medical companies that do it for a living who are banging on the door saying, we've got all this stuff here, do you want it? And the government says, oh, no, that's okay. A bloke who walks Boris Johnson's dog, he's just signed up for a £121 million contract to provide surgical masks that won't work. So you're all right. It's just incredible what's happening in this country, and they are wearing us down because now, but with the assistance of the usual suspects, the offshore billionaire foreign-owned press, they are beating us into submission. This is not what the public want to hear. I mean, how many times have you heard that? And of course, their fans, their cult fans, who are all in, digging their heels in. The people that up until recently were saying, oh, leave him alone, he's doing his best. Well, even they can't come up with that anymore. So now they're swerving that and going straight to, well, this is not what the public want. What the public wants is to hear about the vaccine rollout, to hear about how we are number one, global Britain, all of that nonsense. They're beating us into submission, and it's working. Because the public can only take it for so long. And that's the part of the word news that is the most important bit. New. This isn't new anymore. It's the same old story. And so we get bored. People just get bored. Oh, are you still going on about that? God, it's painful. So he is going to get away with it. All he has to do is just drag it out for a couple of weeks and people won't want to hear about it anymore. Calm me down. I didn't think I was going to get this angry, but gee. And they claim to be guided by their faith. Really, it's a pretty weird faith. When all of their actions would put them at the very top of God's to smite list.
I do hope you enjoyed that, because I know I do. I always love listening to his rants when he goes off on a tangent. I think he does have a point about when it comes to the religious angle, because all these people can hide behind their own religion and say it with a straight face. I just don't know how they do it. I don't know how they dare. And when he goes on about getting angry, I think reason why, because I think in his heart of hearts, and I think anybody else with a right rational thinking brain knows full well our bodge will get away with it. You can just see it coming, you know. Like as he says, it's not new. People now, they're gaslighting, like as he said, deliberately gaslighting the population into thinking, oh, this is not news anymore. Time to move on. It's nothing new. Not new now. So I'll just ride it out and then just wait for it to all go away. And I think he knows, like even my wife has been saying it a few times, he'll get away with it. He's going to get away with it. And I think I'm inclined to agree. I think he will. I think he will get away with it. But anyway, I'll leave the video here, and until the next time, I shall bid you farewell and take care.